He's here for you right now. Please welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Forward!
Big night, biggest night of my life. That's why I'm wearing my best suit. Because I do not want one thing to go wrong. Got my period. Hey, thanks. I'm really good. No, I am. I'm one of the best, so. I know you all come see this special taping, and that makes you special. But I am not in any mood to do this. I've been waiting on some test results, and they were supposed to they're supposed to text them to me, and they have not. So they're not for me. They're for my grandmother. So instead of doing an hour of my jokes, instead I'm going to do 3.5 hours of me and my grandmother's favorite songs. Thank you. Not sure. You know what? It would be a great time to grow the fuck up. This first one is one of our favorites. Thank you. I love you, you love me. We love each other for eternity. You love me, I love you. Why can't I be inside you too? Shit, I got a text. It's the results. You can do this, Mark. You can do this. Oh, thank God. She's not my grandmother. Oh. That song has been so awkward for so long. Sometimes I think about my grandmother, and I hope she's up in heaven making her world-famous butter tarts. But then she'll call or come over. I don't even like doing stand-up right now. It's shit because of people like you. No, the crowds and the audiences are garbage. There's like 3 people here that are only here to get upset. Right? You're gonna laugh at everything, right? until it applies to you, right? Psoriasis? Susan, how can you make fun of psoriasis? You know, I've been dealing with that all my life. It's been such a struggle. Every week we get angry, right? And then Monday comes and we don't give a fuck about that thing anymore. Every week. The greatest example for me was when the co-pilot flew a plane into a mountain and killed everyone on the plane. And people were on their Facebook or their Twitter, we gotta do something about co-pilots. We gotta unite, gotta start testing it's got to be a system for co-pilots. What did we do? Nothing. We did nothing. Because there's always going to be crazy people. Well, then we got to get rid of mountains. No. No. You want to fix the world, you have to do it yourself. That's why it never gets fixed. Right? You got to start talking to the crazy people in your life, all right? You know that woman at work that comes up to you and she's like, hey, you want to talk about raisins? And you're like, no, Cheryl, I have no interest in talking about raisins. Talk to Cheryl about raisins! Ask her one question about raisins. Is that gonna throw your fucking day out? No. Hey, Cheryl, how many kinds of raisins are there? How long did that fucking take? 2 seconds. She might be so happy, she will go home and be like, oh my God, I'm gonna cancel those co-pilot lessons. It takes 2 seconds. But you just want the happy stuff. That's what you like, right? You like sharing little stories on your Facebook or your Twitter, and I got 3 likes today. I'm doing something. There was a homeless guy they found in an alley. He could play piano, and everybody was sharing him like crazy. It drove me nuts. Isn't this a beautiful story? He's homeless. But he knows how to play piano. Isn't that, oh my God, it's so amazing. What? Why is that amazing? This guy fucked up every other aspect of his life. But because he remembers how to play a piano, I'm supposed to be like, oh, share, like. No, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Poor people do not have pianos, all right? So that guy started up here, fucked his way all the way down, and because he remembers chopsticks, I'm supposed to be like, oh, the meaning of hope. Fuck that guy. There was a 108-year-old woman jumped out of a plane. She'd never done it before. And at 108, she was so brave to try it for the first time. What? She's 108. She's not afraid to die. She's going up there, in fact, hoping it happens. She's tired. She's been Googling hobbies for weeks, checking out the highest percentage of which one will end her fucking life. 108. We don't need 108-year-olds. Put them down at 100. That's all I'm saying. Put the old people down at 100. Don't need them. No one's ever stopped my show and be like, well, hate to do this to you, but there was this one time where I needed a 108-year-old. I was walking down the street and a wizard popped out of nowhere. And he was like, please help me. I need 100,000 wrinkles and something that smells like burnt leaves. There's no time for questions. 108, no. Put them down at 100. The only time you even see 108-year-olds on their birthday, right? Someone comes and wheels them out of the dark. And there's like a local paper there to take a picture of it. right? So a family member has to creep up quietly behind them so they don't shock them, and sort of prop them up like a fucking mannequin beside the cake. They're not even looking at the camera, they're just looking off in the distance, searching for something. You know what they're searching for? That light everybody's been talking about. Let me go into it. The air hurts my skin. 108. Put him down at 100. Listen, you put your dog down at 13. 13. Went quiet. I get it. Don't do this. He's my best friend. Gives me unconditional love. And then you get like a new couch, right? And it shits on it while you're at work. Your unconditional love story quickly changes, doesn't it? Then it becomes, well, I think it's time. No, it's what's best for him. You put the fucker down, that's all I'm saying. Put the old people down. The first time your grandmother fucks up the cookies, all right? She's in the kitchen crying. Well, I don't know, I must have put salt in instead of sugar. Put the bitch down! I used to work with old people as they were passing away. That was my job. And I would sit with them and I would comfort them and tell them, it's okay. You've lived a long life. And I would hold their hand, which doesn't seem like a lot, but at that point, it feels like raw chicken. And I would play music because music, I find, soothes the soul. And so I'd just be right over top of them, just... Shh. Go to sleep. Kevin's waiting for you. Kevin was her deceased husband in that sketch. I went camping and I opened a bag of peanuts. You ever notice when you open a bag of peanuts in the woods, chipmunks come out of nowhere? Chipmunks love peanuts. They get fucking excited about peanuts. I opened this bag of peanuts. 3 chipmunks came out of nowhere, formed a semicircle around me. They locked their tiny little arms. They started swaying and singing. And I'm paraphrasing, right? Because I do not speak chipmunk. The one picked up his tiny little paw and he pointed right at me. And he said, "You, sir, are gonna give us some of those fucking peanuts." What a foul-mouthed little rodent that guy is. He was the leader, though. You could tell right away. He was wearing a little bandana. Pulled out a switchblade. I thought he was coming for me. But no, he just cut the chipmunk beside him. Just to show his dominance. He stuck his paw in the wound, drew blood on his face, never losing eye contact with me. Had a tattoo on his arm that just said, "Nuts!" Here's the thing, they shouldn't even know what a peanut is. Peanuts are not indigenous to North America. Just blew half your fucking minds right there. The other half were like, what's indigenous? Here's what happened. One time, one place, a rogue chipmunk wandered way out into the forest. And a camper left an errant peanut just lying on the ground. They had a good weekend, him and his family. It was such a good weekend. And I'm glad they had that time together. Because Carol died 2 weeks after. She was intensely allergic to peanuts. Well, there was this rogue chipmunk. He found this peanut. He pressed it up against his velvety lips. Shh. You don't know. You weren't there. And the salt ran down his throat. He loved what he tasted. He wanted all his friends to know, so he ran home as fast as he could, and he changed his Facebook status right away. He was so confused at what to say, so much emotion pouring through him. He just wrote, peanuts! All in caps! Yelling into the world! I know you're confused. How, with his tiny little paw, did he reach the shift button? But why didn't he pick up his button? No, he took grade 9 typing. He knew, keep your paws at F and K. You can put a peanut on your knee and a chipmunk will crawl up your leg. Risk its life for a food it doesn't even know exists. As soon as it hits your foot, you could kill it. Teach it a fucking lesson. Get your friends to hold the other 2 chipmunks back, right? Make them watch the leader die. You're the leader now, Steven. I would put a peanut on my knee, it would crawl up my leg, take the peanut, run off in the woods, come back and want more. And this went on for like an hour. And I started to worry about him because he's got to go home and explain to his wife where all these free peanuts are coming from that are just piling up in the living room. And she's going to ask. They always do. And he's gonna be like, hon, this is what's going down. You're not gonna believe it. There's a guy in the woods. What? Well, I don't know his fucking name. Can I just, for once, finish There's a guy in the woods. Here's what's going down. I'm crawling up his leg. He's laughing. Then he just gives me one of these fucking peanuts. Can you believe our good fortune? Now, if I know women, she's gonna hear that story and be all like, what? That doesn't add up, Trevor. And Trevor's gonna be like, don't fucking start with me, Lisa. And she's gonna be like, is this the walnut incident all over again? And he's gonna be like, do not bring up the fucking walnut incident. How can I not bring it up, Trevor? It almost ruined our life. That was fucking 92, Lisa. Let it fucking go. I can't let it go. Your mother was right. She should have eaten you when she had the chance. You do not bring my fucking mother into this, Lisa. And then he would strike her. Fuck. Lisa tried to hide the bruises, but she quickly found out it's so hard to apply makeup to fur. She finally found this little eye patch she could wear. She tried to carry on like nothing happened. She went out to tea with Mrs. Owl the next day, but Mrs. Owl knew right away something was up. They've been friends since high school, and Lisa has never worn an eye patch before. Mrs. Owl just looked right at her and was like, "Who hit you?" I know a lot of you are like, I hope that Chipmunk joke is over. It's not. This is the ballad of Trevor and Lisa. It can melt a cold man's heart. She cries so much, she'll only go out when it rains out. And as for Trevor, he blew his tiny brains out. And a wolf came along and ate his dead carcass. Well, guys, don't be upset at the wolf, right? Because he did not know the story. And he died of lead poisoning. Okay, is everybody up to speed? Lisa had a secret, she was 3 weeks pregnant. No! No! Guys, I did not know that when I wrote this. And if you're upset, go home and Google the gestation period of a chipmunk. At 3 weeks, she is very far along. Have to raise it all alone. But instead, she just crawled into bed and ate rotten peanuts till she died. So don't feed the wildlife. Never had a lesson. Onto the C chord. Back to the G chord. They say there's two sides to every story. But that would also mean no, there isn't. I miss my dad every day. One day I'm gonna hit him. Decor. Do you guys ever wash your hands in a motion sensor faucet and it doesn't work? And you think, oh God, it's over. Sweet release. I've died. That other sink is so far away. And you go over and it works. There's so many guys. Can I just take a moment here? I do a lot of charity work, and there's so many animals on the endangered list, and we really, guys. Seriously, did you know this? There's so many on the endangered list. We're all gonna have to do our part on this one, guys. If we all, killed 3 or 4 of them, we could get them off that list so fast. I'm not a religious person, like I said, but I will tell you one time I saw lightning flash across the sky, and it was so beautiful that I stopped. And I was like, maybe, just maybe, that killed a religious person. I really don't give a fuck what you guys think. If that's all right with you. That one's a thinker, guys. I'm gonna do it one more time. This will bring us all together, by the way, as a group. It's about 9/11. Every article since the attack, when it's been about the monuments or the building they're building or how things weren't going to be on time, they did something in every article that drove me crazy. 3 paragraphs in, they would recap what happened on 9/11. So you'd be 3 paragraphs into an article, and it would say in 2001, Al-Qaeda operatives flew planes into the buildings, killing. And I was always reading that going, well, who is that for? Who was reading that article? They must have been terribly confused for 3 paragraphs. Why are they building a monument in New York for what? What editor walked in and was like, Steven, I love your work. You know that, right? I love everything you do. You know that, right? I love your work. That's why you're here. That's why you work here. I love everything we do together. What's that? Yeah, I'll get the door. This one too? Sure. Yep. Just for the people not enjoying the show. What would he keep up there? Steven, I read your article. Here's what I'm thinking, though. 3 paragraphs in, we just do a little recap of what happened on 9/11, just to jog people's memory about that day. Daniel, I don't think we need that. I think most people remember 9/11. Steven, I don't want to pull rank here. But I am the editor, and we are going with the recap. Daniel, you know we were both up for that job. And if I hadn't had that health scare that kept me out of the office for 6 long months, maybe I'd be the one calling the shots on this whole 9/11 story. Stephen, you need to let that go. I'm sorry, I'm the editor. And we are going with the recap. Daniel, this is bullshit! Steven! You will not speak to me that way! I want you to gather your things and take the rest of the day off. And he did. He wandered around for a while. He didn't want to go home. He was too upset. Stopped into his local pub. Can I get a scotch on the rocks? They gave it to him straight. He didn't say anything. Crazy Russell was at the bar, but he always is. They got into a pretty heated argument about why ghosts wear clothing. Like, does it go with you when you die, or are there stores in heaven? Are you stuck wearing the clothes you die in for eternity? Like, what if you're driving a car and you spill pizza on your shirt? Do you have to walk around for eternity going, fuck, I know? What if you come across an 1800 soldier? Can you say, hey, do you want to swap? These are khakis. That's a history joke, I know. They never solved it. There was some kids at the back watching the Blue Jay game. Jays were up 6-2. Kids were yelling bunt. Finished his scotch, warmed his stomach as he headed out into the autumn night. He'd forgotten his coat at work. He finally made it home and his wife was waiting for him on the stairs. She was so upset. Where have you been? I got into a fight at work. Was it about the editor job? No, not this time. This time it was about 9/11. And she was like, 9/0 what? All right. So now I'd like to do for you what I did at my high school variety show. Thank you. This is what I did at my high school variety show. Thank you very much. It's been so long. It's just, okay. So embarrassing. Okay, you can do it. Just gotta remember. Okay. What? Yeah. Well? I wasn't in the show. I walked into a convenience store. Kind of convenience store you walk into and you're like, I should not be in this convenience store. It is a terrifying convenience store. But I will, I'm Canadian, so I'll buy some gum and then I will go. So I walked up to the cash. There was a woman there. She needed her scratch tickets. And as she was backing up her vehicle, I stepped to the side, and that's when I saw it. There was a rack of fancy hats. There was an entire rack from top to bottom of fancy hats. The chocolate bars weren't stocked. There was 1 or 2 magazines on the magazine rack, but there it was, an entire rack of fancy hats. What was its purpose? Why was it there? Was it something like, hey, Cheryl, how were sales tonight? Well, they weren't that great, Brian. They weren't that great at all. I'm almost afraid to ask. Did we happen to sell any of our fancy hats? No, Brian. We didn't sell any of our fancy hats. God damn it! Brian, maybe it's time that we give up on trying to sell the fancy hats. Cheryl, what's the #1 rule I've told you about selling fancy hats? You said it's consistency, Brian. You said it's consistency. That's right. Maybe one night someone walks in here. They are not in need of a fancy hat. But they see our rack, and 6 months down the road, in the middle of the night, when they are all of a sudden in dire need of a fancy hat, they will remember Brian's convenience. They will remember my rack of immaculate fancy hats. Just then, a face they haven't seen in years burst into the store. Hey, I know, I'm not supposed to be here. What the hell are you doing here? Please, Brian, hear me out. It's your daughter, my wife. She's dying. She's not gonna make it through the night. I've dressed her up in her finest. But all I need is one of your fancy hats. How dare you? After all you've done to this family, you think I'm gonna sell you one of my fancy hats? I do not think so, sir. I do not think so. I do not think so, sir. I do not think so. I do not think so, sir. I do not think so. Brian! What are you gonna do, Brian? Please, Brian. Just one hand.
I need some air. I need some air. Oh, Brian, what are these fancy hats doing to you, Brian? What are they doing to you? An old abandoned factory. Shh. Shut the fuck up. I need to go back. I need to go back! I've decided. No, I will not sell you one of my fancy hats. I knew that'd be your answer, Brian. I knew it all along. If you're not gonna sell me one of your fancy hats, I'm gonna have to take it. No, Cheryl! What? It didn't have to be this way, Brian. It didn't have to be this way. I think I'm gonna make it. Ah, 2 guns. Chill. Take my hand. I'm so cold, Sheriff. I'm so cold. I want to apologize to you for my business decision to sell the fancy ass. No! Ryan! Ryan! What have you done? What have you done? So...
So it's either that or they just had like a box of hats in the back. It's one of those 2 things. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Mark Ford. I appreciate it. Thank you.
One, two, three. McCall!